Hi guys, we have already discussed about how to build a campaign. Now let us go through Google Analytics Tag Manager, Google Analytics, Google Merchandise account. Now in this segment, we will discuss mostly on five different things. Number one, we will talk about the life cycle. Number two, we will discuss on users. Third, on events. Fourth, reporting and analysis. Fifth, configuration. Okay, now let's go to the first part, life cycle. So in life cycle, what exactly happens? Life cycle consists of four different phases. And in this segment, I will only discuss about those points which are important from performance marketing purpose. In life cycle, what exactly happens? It's pretty simple. Someone comes to your website, then engages with your content, then purchases some product, and you want the same customer to buy your product again and again. Now, these four things have differentiated among each other, and they are the four segment of the story. Now, come to the first part of the story, how your customers are coming. That is discussed on acquisition. In this segment, what you can do, you can understand what are the different channels, different sources, and how the customers are coming. You can see here who are the new users, and you can filter them with these options. Now, if you go to sessions, you can see here different sessions, and you can segregate them either by campaign, source plus medium, default channel could be. Okay. Then there is something called lifetime value, which we will talk in retention segment. Now, let's move to the next important section. So this is something where one performance marketer should focus on. Number one, here in this segment, you can segregate your dimensions by either source slash medium, source, whatever. Okay. Now, once you make the changes, you will be able to see here the total number of sources and how the users are coming to your website. What are the important things in this table? Number one, total number of users. Then, important thing, average engagement time per session. The higher the engagement time, the better it is. But it is not always true. For example, there is a thank you page. Now on thank you page, it's only written thank you. So whoever will come to that particular page after filling up a form, they won't stay there for longer. A 4 second or 5 second of time is enough. So if you think that that particular page is not performing well, then it's not correct. So you should go to each and every page of your website and see how much time can it take to consume the entire content of that particular website, and accordingly you can bookmark them. Or what you can do, you can segregate different sections. For example, if it is a B2B segment, then your blogs will be a separate section, your services will be separate, about you will be separate, your products and your product services segment will be separate. Now for each of these categories, you can fix certain timelines, and if you know people who are coming to those pages, if that number is below that time, then you can think of modifying that page, or you should identify why there is a drop. Okay. Now the next thing is the events. You can see here conversions. You can break it by purchases also. So what can happen, you can see what are the sources and how much conversions do they contribute to. So this is how you will come to know what sources are contributing how many number of purchases. Okay, clear? Now you have acquired the customer. Now you need to engage with them. In order to engage with them, what are the metrics that is important? It is pretty simple, right? For example, someone is coming to your website and let's say they are not engaging with you. So what should it mean? It means if someone is coming to your website, then you want them to come to your website again and again. If it is an e-commerce, then you'd like to sell them other products as well. It could be a cross sell, it could be an upsell of a product, or it could be the same product itself for the second time. So, for example, companies like Big Basket, companies like Grofers, there you want them to come on every alternative day or in every 3 days because they are into pure retails. So there you sell potato, onion, and daily consumables. However, e-commerce like Amazon, Flipkart, etc., there definitely you can target retails, but yes, they are good at daily product uses kind of uh, products. For example, you want to buy a harmonium, you want to buy a guitar, you want to buy a earphone, you want to buy a mobile. So products like this, which have a low shelf life, but not as low as your food items. And the ticket value can be less. It can be very high also. Okay, so in e-commerce also it varies from companies to companies. Okay, so this is one of the segment. Okay, then there is something called real estate properties where the properties start itself from 30 lakh, 40 lakh, 60 lakh, 1 cr, 2 cr, etc. So there the engagement is different. Now for each of these business units, the activity should be measured separately. Now, as an organization, as a company, you should identify, like for retail, what kind of user engagement is good, and for a company like Amazon, Flipkart, retails, what kind of engagement should be good. But mostly for retailers, okay, or FMCG based companies, or mostly brick and mortar kind of shops, there the higher the engagement, the better it is. Okay, now there is something called user stickiness. This is a very important metric. If you are a startup, then this is something your investors should like to see. Now let me tell you one simple example. Let's say you are acquiring 100 users every day. So on day one, you have acquired 100 users, day two, 100 more, day three, 100 more. So by the end of day three, you have acquired total 300 users. So by the end of a month, like by the end of 30 days, you will acquire almost 3,000 users per day. Now, if those 3,000 users are coming on a regular basis, so by the end of day 30, you will have total 3,000 daily users and 3,000 monthly users. So there it is almost 100%. The ratio of daily active user to monthly active user is 100%, which is which is basically an ideal scenario. Even Facebook, uh, Instagram, companies, apps like this, they don't have 100% DAO to MAO ratio. Okay, so this is very important. So what should be the actual metric? For example, if you are an e-commerce, then 20% of DAU to MAU is a good number. uh, and if you are mostly, for example, if you are a real estate kind of company, then 3 to 4% of DAU to MAU ratio is fine. However, if you are a social media kind of platform, like you have come up with a new idea of YouTube or short videos like TikTok, etc., then in that case, your daily active user to MAU ratio should be very high. It should be as high as 40% to 60%. Okay, if it is less than that, then it won't get that much of traction, and later it will die out. So this is very important. So we call it as user stickiness. User stickiness means how you how your users are stick to your mobile app or stick to your product. Okay. Now let's come to this particular page where which talks about pages and screens. This is very important, and I see it on a regular basis. So this is something which will tell you like what are the pages and which pages are driving you maximum number of conversions. So first one talks about channels, which channels are driving you maximum conversion. Now in those channels you are able to see what are the pages that are giving you maximum number of conversions. You can see here the same. If you add one event called purchase, then what is going to happen, you will be able to see the purchases against those particular page title and screen class. So this is very important. So in acquisition, guys, you understood traffic acquisition. In engagement, it is pages and screens. Coming to monetization. In monetization, if you are an e-commerce store, you go to e-commerce purchases. So there you will be able to see what is the ratio of your different metrics. Different metrics in the sense how many people have viewed your product, how many have added to the basket, then their ratio basket to view, then after adding those products to the basket, let's say people are purchasing, then what is the that ratio. So understanding those ratios are pretty important. Now, for each of those purchases, you can also see, what is the item purchase quantity. So that is also very interesting, and you can do a lot more analysis on the top of this. This is very important. Now, coming to the other segment, in-app purchases. For example, you are a gaming app and you are running a lot of ads on your website. For example, Ludo Star. Ludo gives you certain coins or certain gems, certain gold. If you see some sort of ad or if you engage with certain set of ads. So then what happens? Ludo Star is making money just by showcasing just by showing you the ad. So in that case, what is happening? Ludo is making money. So you can see here a lot of things. So this is in-app purchases. If your app is showing some sort of products, and let's say the customer can buy products through your app, then you can see those numbers through in-app purchases. There is something called publisher ads. I was talking about games. So and let's say you are a blogging website and you are running ads on your blogging website, and you have linked your Google AdSense with your with your Google Analytics. Then in that case you will be able to see what are the content and who are the publishers and who are running ads on your website. Okay, so then moving to the retention part. So now what happened? You knew from where your customer is coming, then your customer is engaged with your website, then they purchase a product or service. Now you want them to buy it again. Okay, so like awareness, consideration, purchase, repeat purchase. So in this case, what you can see the retention rates. In retention rate, basically what happens, so what is important is the user retention cohort. If the numbers are less, like you can see here, day one 6%, and by 23rd of May it has become 1%. It means out of 100 people, 6 people have engaged, and out of them only one people is getting engaged by day 7. So here what is happening, the user retention is very less, and the same is reflected here also. Okay, so what you should do now, every time you need to engage with your audience with some sort of information, or you should be able to understand what is the behavior of the user is. Now this is something which I like to see in this particular retention table, which is called the lifetime value. Lifetime value is something where uh, you get to know what is the total amount of money your customer is spending on you. Okay, for example, so your objective as a performance marketer should be to increase the lifetime value every time, because what is happening in real life, more and more people are coming to the digital world. More and more businesses are coming to the digital world, and the competition is going crazy. So every year the cost of CPCs and everything is going to go up only. So if you are getting certain set of customer acquisition today at 100 rupees, the same can be acquired the next year at 110 or 105 rupees. Okay, so this is going to increase, and it's 100% sure. So what you can do, your objective should be to maximize on the revenue part. So the revenue maximization can happen just by increasing the basket value or increasing the lifetime value. Now, how to increase the lifetime value? You should come up with new ideas, new products. You should brainstorm with your marketing team and come up with new offers, new kind of values that you are adding to your product, and try to sell them. And you can sell them to your existing customers as well as new customers, and that will increase your lifetime value. So what I think Deepan will talk most of the qualitative things on lifetime value, how to increase it. And I can only I will only tell you like what will be the approach in terms of implementation. Okay, now one, for example, I'll give you an example of Amazon. What happens when Amazon started in India 2010 to 2009? At that time, mostly what happened, people were just registering in Amazon and they didn't used to buy any product, and even one product in 6 months or 7 months. And it usually happens with any e-commerce companies, whoever starts. So there, what exactly happens? No, the cost of acquiring the customer is itself very high. Now, in order to keep them engaged with you, they come up with something called Amazon Prime membership. And Amazon Prime membership, what exactly they do? They give you Amazon Prime video subscription in that same price. They give you Amazon Music. Okay, so this basically happens you to be connected with them for an entire year. And since you have paid some amount, every time you think to buy something, you will think of going to Amazon because you want to take the maximum benefit out of it. The moment you go and spend more and more, their lifetime value, their basket value increases, and that's how they make more money. Okay, now we understood the life cycle, how they came, they engaged, they purchased, they are buying again and again. Now, after knowing this, one has to understand who my users are. Okay, now just to understand them, we go to demographics, and demography will tell you what are the attributes of those customers. So they can be your existing customer, they can be new customers. So that will give you from where your users are coming from. You can see here by users, returning users, everything. Now here you can see, bifurcate it by town, city, everything. You will know all interest category, age, language, etc. Then coming to the technology part, you will come to know what are the basic websites from where sorry so what are the technical systems which are used by your customers. So what are the operating systems like Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, Chrome. Then whether they are coming to your website through mobile, tablet, device, desktop, etc. And here you can see the screen resolution, etc. So this using this you can basically use it, and you can control these things in your performance marketing campaigns, in Facebook ads, Google ads. However, I don't find them much useful, but yes, they are useful. Now, for example, you don't run at all any performance marketing campaigns, but you have Google Analytics placed on your website. In that case, any performance marketer would be interested to see what kind of audiences are coming to your website. So at that time, it becomes handy. Otherwise, more or less, as a performance marketer, you will come to know what will be the demography and what will be the kind of technological products your customers are using. Then coming to the events part. In events, we'll be covering conversion and events. I have already told you all conversions are event, but not all events are conversions. For example, someone have come to your website and viewed some of the product. That those things could be an event, but they are not a conversion. For example, the same person has come to your website and signed up for the product, then it is called a registration. Then that exactly is a conversion. Okay, now so let's go to the conversion segment. So here you can see there are a lot of conversion events like begin checkout, first visit, purchase, registration, complete. Now let's go to the event. So Google Analytics 4 is has got a completely defined auto-defined events, auto-defined existing events that are there. So you can see here, add payment info, add shipping info, add to cart, and Android lovers, begin checkout, click, etc. So these are some of the events that are tracked by default with Google Analytics.